Hey there, thanks for stopping by. It's been a little bit since the last video and there's a lot to catch up on. I've been away kind of working on the website a little bit more. Some of the development stuff's been going on, so I haven't really been playing much and reporting back much because there's been so many changes, day to day, and I just haven't had time to keep up. But this is a good opportunity to provide a status and see where we're at in the game for the pre-beta. Let's get right into it. All right, so what has been happening in the world of Incarnate? Let's start with a recent event that they held. The developers, we had a recent drop of a build. They wanted to get a lot of testing in. They offered a competition, and the competition went off without a hitch. A lot of great fun in that competition. Here's the results on denofbluebear.com. The prizes are actually really good. You actually got some NFT builds that you can create now. So anybody that participated in the competition and got an easy Valgoth kill, which is the first boss of the game, they got an NFT. And the NFT is actually really good for a rare build. So it's going to help out those people that got that NFT build very much at the start of the game, because they'll have a level 60 to start grinding waves at, and they're going to have basically a head start. So congrats to all those winners. They're listed here at denofbluebear.com/events. We also got some additional rewards for killing the harder bosses, getting to certain waves. You can kind of see that all here. Letting you know now, there will be some competitions in the future, probably in the next couple weeks. My guess is probably very similar rewards. So if you're not already getting into the game and not playing, you definitely want to get in now, because these are going to give you some great incarnates or pieces to give you a head start in the game when it actually releases. And we're still kind of expecting the closed beta to launch September timeframe. I'm not sure if it's earlier or late, but probably mid-September is my guess. So be on the lookout for that. And I will have another video out coming out soon. I have a giveaway coming up, so you'll hear that announcement in the next video. But so that competition was awesome. We had Delirious get up to wave 332. That's insane. Congrats, good job. They got a really good NFT build with 2 gifts coming on, so good work. What else has been going on? Tons and tons of balance changes are going on, so I'm not going to go through all of them because there's just too many to talk about, but I'll hit the highlights. We started playing with the game and giving feedback. One of the biggest things on the last build we saw was taunt. We started getting into the PvP mode, and we started playing around with taunt, and basically you just got the enemy got taunt locked. We had a conversation with the lead developer Sham, and literally, I'm telling you, literally within 5 days, there was a reworked taunt mechanic in the game. He took the feedback, provided his point of view, we provided our point of view. We kind of clashed a little bit on where we thought we wanted to be. He recognized, once he started seeing us playing around with the game, that the way he wanted the taunt to work wasn't exactly it. So he reworked it, or he and his team reworked it, right? So that's again just a testament again to Skeleton Hand, the team that they have over there. They're taking the feedback seriously, and that's the great thing I love about this game and this company. They take the feedback seriously, and they get stuff done real quick. So that was huge. So taunt mechanics were reworked. The extra turns or parts are no longer in the game pretty much. We saw that we were taking parts that had extra turns on them just to cycle through our abilities faster and get across the board faster. That wasn't really, it wasn't really feeling good. It wasn't fun. Again, Sham was just sitting in and watching us play, had a conversation, and said, "Hey, it doesn't feel great." All right, well, what can we do about it? Basically, just took him out of the game. So any part that had that extra turn coming onto it, it got reworked, and you'll see some more of that coming up. Probably when the parts and the abilities get more finalized, I'll go through that whole series again of walking through the parts, probably one by one, go into more details. But right now, just know that if you're playing now and you played recently and you haven't gotten into it again a little bit, the parts have been reworked. You're gonna have to get a good feel for what they are currently right now. So the parts have been reworked, graphics have been updated. One little piece I love here is if I go into the hall real quick, we can go ahead and they've got this little toggle UI button. I love it. It was a quick feature that we asked for, about a month or a month and a half ago. They popped it in within a couple of days. So now you can take screenshots of all these builds and actually put these as your wallpapers and stuff like that. But the graphics, they look just insanely better. And we had some better graphics come out in my last video, but they've been improved even more with the shaders. So that's really cool. The other big thing about the game that has really impressed me is just the feel of the game. It doesn't feel as clunky anymore. It actually feels like you're playing a game that's smooth. It's getting more polished and all that stuff. It feels better the way you're able to play. One of those improvements, if I can go into the waves and just grab some Incarnates here. One of those improvements is the move feature. So previously we had to click a move button, we had to click a space, then we had to confirm by clicking that space again to even move anywhere. Now the move button's gone. Like it's non-existent anymore. So it takes one click away, and really you have the option to move immediately, or you can attack, whatever. But you can go off and just move, and it's still 2 clicks to confirm, but it's important because when you move and you want to go a certain, certain squares, you can actually choose your path when you move around. And what I mean by that is when we get to the next turn, we can click spaces along the way to actually define the path. And that's important for a couple of the Eternals. So we can't just completely get rid of the, double click or confirmation click, if you will. So if I wanted to go and take this path, I can go ahead and do that, and my Incarnate's going to move along that path. So if I just confirm that, there he goes. And again, it's important because some of the internals that you want to use, or some of the ores that you want to use, it might be really good to get into a certain space first before you get into just like the shortest path to that spot. So the move feature has been, or move mechanic has been changed a bit. On top of the parts, some of the Eternals have been reworked. Some of them were just too powerful, did too much. The interactions weren't working very good. Other improvements have been just tons of bug fixes. We've been posting bugs for the last month or so, and they just continue to get worked off. The interactions between parts and Eternals and other enemies and stuff like that, they feel a lot better now. Again, the gameplay feels a lot better. You can see where the game's going, and it's just impressive. It's crazy how awesome this game is going to be from the perspective of all the interactions between the parts and the Eternals and player versus player and stuff like that. The other improvement or feature, I should say, you may have already seen it, but we'll talk about it now, is that the enemy AI or enemies that you're facing actually have abilities that they can use. That Incarnate just used Kill Streak. That one just used Ijitsu. This one just used Spike Blade. So they're not just hitting for kind of a default, damage. They're actually using their soul abilities right now. And the body and the mind parts will be coming probably in the next couple of builds. But now we're actually starting to see how that finished game is going to look, feel, and play. We have the ability now to see what the interactions from an enemy hitting you perspective is. So that's really cool because there's some things that I hadn't thought about how do I approach this enemy? How do I counter this part? Now you can start actually play testing that and getting a much better feel for what the speed mechanics are going to look like, for what the counters are going to look like, what parts are going to be problematic for your builds. And we're actually now starting to see the balancing issues come out, because now we're not just hitting kind of just blank canvases here and just dumb AI. We're now having more interactions that we can test. So that's one pretty awesome thing that we're starting to see now, is that more finished product. So that's a ton of changes going on in the last month. Stuff I just couldn't keep up with, and I don't want to inundate with everybody with just like the smallest of changes every day or every other day, because it is still pre-beta. It's in that alpha phase. It's probably, not value added to report on that stuff all the time. So if I focused on, I guess, getting the website going on and getting you guys more of a holistic update in this video. So the other big things that have come in, we talked about PvP earlier in the video, and even in other previous videos. PvP is here. My God, PvP is here. And it's not asynchronous PvP. It is real-time synchronous, meaning you are facing someone in PvP. That's insane. For a mobile game like this, to do real-time PvP, I'm not sure if it's the first of its kind, but it is not common. Typically, you have that asynchronous mode where you're setting a team, and you send your team against that set team. Their enemy team runs off of auto AI, and you're just battling someone that's not there. That mode will still be in the game. Don't get me wrong, it'll be there. It's just going to have its own little section. But this mode, this real-time PvP, is insane. And the way it's gonna work is it's like a draft mode. So you'll have blind picks for your first incarnates. You'll get to see what the other players are choosing. Then you get to now go switch back and forth to see what incarnate you want to bring in to possibly counter that first one. And then that next person has their next pick. So it's that kind of draft pick format. Really, really cool, because this game is going to be super dependent on the counters that you select and bring into the team fights. The other thing you might notice here is that this map, it's not an 11 by 11 board. If you thought this game was going to be just 11 by 11 boards and that was it, wrong. You are going to be able to create these types of maps and boards in your own stronghold, and they do not have to be the 11 by 11. This one is pretty crazy. You've got just some corners here and some edges. You've got tons of raised spaces, and it's thinner here than it is across the middle. You can be very strategic in the way you set up this map and the way you actually play this map because of the missing spaces around here. So that's pretty awesome. The other cool thing, from talking to Sham about the modes and stuff like that, is that there will be different modes in the game. So you have the ability to go maybe 1v1, 2v2, 3v3. You can do NFTs versus NFTs. You can, possibly at some point, I mean, the idea was floating around was just having a 15-person, battle royale. This game is ripe with opportunity for the esport world. There are so many possibilities with this mode, and I'm super excited to see what happens, but also to be on the ground floor and see where it's starting from, and just being there early in the game. So we're watching right now this PvP. I've got Discord up on the bottom right here hand side, watching Animo's map. So you can see that he's waiting for me to move. I'm trying to move with my incarnates there. There are definitely bugs in this mode, and it's to be expected. It got in early, and it's something that we knew that there were going to be problems. We're testing it now, and it's going to be amazing, when it comes live. So what else is going on? So we were talking to Sham, just going and getting some more information, and he showed us a preview, right, of the female models. So you've got the Void Watcher there, you've got the Titan, Nizari, and the Judge. So the female models are coming into the game, and they should be here soon. I'm not sure exactly when they're going to be here, but coming soon to a game near you. But they're looking pretty awesome, and we're not seeing them in their final and finished form, but they're pretty close. We understand that they're going to be a little bit different from the shading perspective. They're going to look different depending on the rarity. But it's awesome that they took the feedback that, you know, the player base wanted to see, you know, the female models. That was kind of important to the player base, and they're making it happen. So the dev team, the artists here, you know, they work super fast, and they deliver. They deliver on their promises. That's why I'm super excited on the game and stuff like that. Those are the huge highlights that are going on. The other things going on, you know, kind of personal wise, from the community website perspective. I built another feature here on the website at denofbluebear.com, where we weren't able to really see what parts the enemy had. So the cool thing about it is each of the parts give you a specific piece based on the name. So if you don't know what parts you're facing up against, or you want to come and say, hey, I need something to kind of remember, you know, which parts my enemy has, just as a reminder. So you now have this site or this little tool. Just come in, put the first half of the first name there, second half, and then pick the secondary name here. So if you see this Incarnate called Kezo Black, so again, first and second half of that, and then second name, you know that the KE is coming from Oasis, the ZO is coming from Feral Instinct, the body part, and Black is coming from the Iijitsu part. So you now know that your enemy has Oasis, Feral Instinct, and Iijitsu. And as you play the game more, you're going to understand what Oasis is, Feral Instinct is, and Iijitsu is. You're going to understand, okay, in my mind, as long as I know what parts they have, I can then kind of use that knowledge to maybe make different moves. So use that if you want to. It's pretty cool, I think. The other thing I have done is going off to let's just go to the Archon parts. So I've updated the parts pages. So now you get to see all the stats that come from these actual parts. This is actually getting changed again. I'm going to have a more condensed version of this where you hyperlink out to a specific page for each part. This is a little cluttered, and I took some feedback from my community saying, okay, it's a little cluttered, it's a little too cluttered. Maybe it's better to have a page per part and a page per Eternal. So that's what I'm working on. I'm excited to learn more about the web development piece of it, and we're going to make that happen. So this will get more condensed. It'll get a little bit more clean and minimal. And then every image here will link out to another page with all the same information, but it'll also have a write-up on, okay, why do I want to use this part? Where can I use it? And why is it good? What counters it? What part, or what does this part counter? And then any synergies that might be present with other parts or other Eternals. So it'll be kind of a recommendation for what other parts, Eternals, gems, and stuff like that you might want to use with this particular part. And then a comment section there just to allow the community to weigh in. So that's pretty cool. The other things on the website I'm trying to work on is a way to share maps, JSON files, share ideas amongst the community. We still have the Discord for all that discussion and stuff like that, but for it doesn't really lend itself to sharing files and stuff like that, and sharing ideas and stuff like that as much as I think it should. So maybe I think the website might do a better job of that. So that's what I've been kind of working on primarily over the last month, is just getting the website up and running, the fundamentals and the basics of it. That way, when the game does launch, I have the ability to quickly and easily make updates to the site, especially when parts change and stuff like that. Right now, it's a lot of photoshopping and stuff like that to get these parts, onto the page. Now I want to build them actually in real time through the website. So that'll be a much better way of doing this. So that's what I've been working on. That's really it. I mean, those are the big ones. The biggest one, again, the PvP, the amount of potential. I want you guys to comment below. In this mode, in this type of game, where do you see the PvP potential? Where do you see the esport potential? Do you think it's going to grow into this, this crazy esport world where we might be able to have some live tournaments? I hope so, because I would love to host a tournament at some point, and just let people run loose with with a good prize pool and stuff like that, and just see the insane builds that people are gonna come up with. Because again, there's 8,000 potential unique base incarnates. Throw on all the Eternals, and you got way more than that, and basically nearly infinite. And it's not so much just infinite because the gear and the gems give you different stats and stuff like that. It really is almost infinite from the perspective of like true abilities, which is again just mind blowing. All right, so just a ton of information to pack into hopefully a shortish video. Again, I'm gonna have another video coming out soon in the next couple weeks to announce a giveaway. There'll be a giveaway for 10 beta keys. Yeah, 10. Again, my community is pretty small, so it's a good opportunity to get in on the beta. The beta keys will give you access to the closed beta, which gives you access to save state progression. So when the closed beta goes live, the game's live, and you get to save your progression and just get a really big head start on the competition before it goes live, around the world and stuff like that. So, if you liked the video, I encourage you to hit that like button. It gets the video circulating around to others that might have a similar interest. We want to do that because this game is again, in my opinion, it's awesome, and we want to share it with other people, get other people involved, and get the community to start growing. I always appreciate that. If you hit that subscribe button, appreciated. And again, I'll just keep reiterating that I'm super grateful for the support that I've gotten so far, not only from the community, you guys watching the videos, subscribing, and all that stuff, but the dev team. A lot of the images and stuff like that on the website and stuff that I do there, it wouldn't be possible without them being as accommodating by giving me some of the images and stuff like that. So thank you not only to you guys, but to the dev team as well. With that, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and we'll see you in the next one.